NPC interactions in video games, a shift toward elimination. Throughout the history of video games, non-playable characters, NPCs, have been an integral part of the gaming experience. From the earliest text-based adventures to modern open-world epics, NPCs have served various roles in shaping player experiences. However, as technology has advanced and player expectations have evolved, a significant shift has occurred in how games allow players to interact with NPCs. This paper explores the transformation of NPC interactions, focusing on the increasing ability for players to eliminate these characters and the profound impact this has had on gameplay dynamics and storytelling. In the early days of video gaming, NPCs primarily served as static elements within game worlds. They were often little more than information dispensers, quest givers, or background decorations that added flavor to the game's setting. These characters typically had limited dialogue options and predetermined behaviors, with little to no ability for players to influence their fate or role in the game's narrative. This approach, while functional, limited the depth of player engagement and the sense of agency within the game world. As gaming technology progressed and player demands for more immersive experiences grew, developers began to explore ways to make NPC interactions more dynamic and consequential. This shift was driven by several factors, including advancements in artificial intelligence, increased processing power, and a growing industry trend towards creating more realistic and responsive game worlds. The ability to eliminate NPCs emerged as a powerful tool for enhancing player agency and creating more complex, branching narratives. Several notable games have pioneered and refined the concept of NPC elimination as a core gameplay element. The Elder Scrolls series, particularly starting with Morrowind, introduced players to vast open worlds where nearly every NPC could be interacted with and, if the player chose, eliminated. This freedom came with consequences, as killing important characters could render certain quests impossible to complete or dramatically alter the game's narrative. This approach to NPC interaction forced players to consider the long-term implications of their actions, adding a layer of strategic depth to the gameplay. The Hitman series took the concept of NPC elimination and made it the central focus of its gameplay. As the titular assassin, players are tasked with eliminating specific targets within complex, populated environments. The games challenge players to observe NPC behaviors, exploit patterns, and make strategic decisions about how and when to eliminate their targets while avoiding detection. This approach transformed the act of NPC elimination from a simple violent act into a puzzle to be solved, requiring careful planning and execution. Games like Fallout, New Vegas further explored the moral implications of NPC elimination. Set in a post-apocalyptic world with competing factions, the game allowed players to kill almost any character they encountered. However, these actions had far-reaching consequences, affecting faction relationships, quest availability, and the overall trajectory of the game's story. This system encouraged players to carefully consider the ethical implications of their actions, as even seemingly minor decisions could have major repercussions. The Grand Theft Auto series, particularly GTA V, showcased how NPC elimination could be integrated into a bustling, dynamic urban environment. While the game allows players to engage in wanton violence against NPCs, it also implements a complex wanted system that responds to player actions. This creates a constant tension between the freedom to act and the consequences of those actions, mirroring real-world social structures and adding depth to the game world. Red Dead Redemption 2 represents perhaps the most sophisticated implementation of NPC interactions and elimination to date. The game populates its vast western setting with characters that have their own routines, relationships, and storylines. Players can choose to interact peacefully, antagonize, or eliminate these characters, with each decision potentially affecting the protagonists on a rating and the way other NPCs respond to them. This system creates a deeply immersive world where player actions have tangible, long-lasting effects on the game environment. The shift towards more complex NPC interactions and the ability to eliminate them has had a profound impact on gameplay dynamics. It has significantly enhanced player agency, allowing for more personalized and unique playthroughs. This increased freedom has also led to greater replayability, as players can explore different paths and outcomes based on their NPC interactions. However, this freedom also presents challenges for game designers, who must balance player autonomy with narrative coherence and game balance. From a storytelling perspective, the ability to eliminate NPCs has opened up new avenues for nonlinear narratives and emergent storytelling. Games can now create more reactive worlds where player choices have meaningful impacts on the story's progression. This has led to more complex character development, as players' relationships with NPCs can evolve based on their actions. The emotional investment in these characters can be heightened when players know their decisions can lead to permanent consequences. The technical challenges of implementing such complex NPC systems are considerable. Developers must create sophisticated AI systems to govern NPC behaviors and reactions. The need to account for numerous potential player actions requires extensive memory and processing power. Balancing the persistence of the game world with player freedom is an ongoing challenge that developers continue to grapple with. Looking to the future, the evolution of NPC interactions is likely to continue. Advancements in artificial intelligence may lead to more realistic and adaptive NPC behaviors. Procedural generation techniques could allow for the creation of unique NPCs with distinct personalities and backstories. As virtual and augmented reality technologies mature, the line between player and NPC may blur even further, potentially leading to even more immersive and consequential interactions. In conclusion, the shift towards more complex NPC interactions, particularly the ability to eliminate them, represents a significant evolution in video game design. This trend has transformed NPCs from static elements into dynamic components of game worlds, enhancing player agency, storytelling possibilities, and overall immersion. As technology continues to advance and player expectations grow, the role of NPCs in video games is likely to become even more sophisticated, further blurring the lines between virtual worlds and reality. The ongoing exploration of NPC interactions promises to remain a fertile ground for innovation in game design, challenging both developers and players to engage with virtual worlds in increasingly meaningful and complex ways.